See Shamu's all-new show.
Gotta keep moving. Nothing's gonna slow me down. I'm counting on these restless wheels to get me back to my hometown. I gotta keep moving. I don't wanna miss a thing. I'm doing everything I can, getting back from where I've been. I can't wait to see you.
Many trainers say it takes a leap of faith to jump in the pool with the top predator of the ocean. Before anybody's in the water with the animals, they know the animals really well. They have a friendship there. They have a fondness for them, and they have a really great daily interactions. The one-on-one time, the teaching. The trainers are actually doing what's called a relationship session. Right now, you're seeing a variety of trainers interacting with whales in a one-on-one type interaction. They're spending time looking in their eyes, maybe rubbing them down, or just being quiet with them. Sometimes it isn't a behavior at all. It's just hanging out.
Water nose to nose and dog paddling with these giants. And once they're your swimming buddies, killer whales will take you for a killer ride.
My favorite behavior to perform is a behavior that we call a rocket hop. Basically, what we do is we go underwater with Shamu, and we drive all the way down to the bottom of the pool, 36 feet below, and they're pushing you by your feet. And then you just remove your feet from their nose and turn around, and you can actually put your hands just like this right on their nose and put your feet right on their flippers. But they come up out of the water and kind of dive backwards and send you sailing, and you can get 25, 30 feet out of the water. And I'll tell you, you feel every bit of their power when you come up. It's pretty much the coolest feeling ever.
Was a really exciting thing to do until everybody wanted to do it.
What were they telling you were going to do?
Capture orcas.
They had aircraft, they had spotters, they had speedboats, they had bombs they were throwing in the water. They were lighting their bombs with acetylene torches in their boats and throwing them as fast as they could to herd the whales into coves. Speedboats caught them there and herded them in. And then they had fishing boats with seine nets that they would stretch across so none could leave, and then they could just pick out the young one. Because the whales in their pools die young, they like to say that all orcas die at 25 or 30 years.
25 to 35 years.
25 to 35 years.
They're documented in the wild, living to be about 35 or mid-30s. They tend to live a lot longer in this environment because they have all the veterinary care.
And of course that's false. We knew by 1980, after half a dozen years of the research, that they live equivalent to human lifespans. And every other potentially embarrassing fact is twisted and turned and denied one way or another.
So in the wild, they live less. And then
Like the floppy dorsal fins.
25% of whales have a fin that turns over like that as they get older.
Dorsal collapse happens in less than 1% of wild killer whales. We know this. All of the captive males, 100%, have collapsed dorsal fins.
And they say that they're a family, that the whales are in their family. They have their pods, but that's just an artificial assemblage of their collection, however management decides they should mix them, and whichever ones happen to be born or bought and brought in. That's not a family.
Marie. You know, Tamara made mistakes. The most important one was interacting with whales without a spotter. So she's putting her foot on Orchid, she's taking her foot off. She's putting her foot on Orchid, her rostrum, she's taking it off. Watching the video, knowing Orchid, your stomach drops because you know what's probably going to happen. She grabbed her foot. Tamara whips around and she grabs the gate. You see her just ripped from the gate. At this point, Tamara knows that she's in trouble. She's under the water. Splash and Orchid both have her. She's totally out of view. No other trainer knows that this is happening. People start to scream, you know, as the park guest that was filming it. You don't see her, but you hear Tamara surface. You hear her just scream out, "Somebody help me." And the way she screamed it was just such a blood-curdling, like she knew she was going to die. Robin, when he ran over, he made a brilliant decision. He told the trainer to run it and take the chain off Kasaka's gate. By taking that chain off, it would give the precursor to Orchid that Kasaka was coming in. Kasaka is more dominant than Orchid. So Orchid let her go. Her arm, it was U-shaped. It was compound fractured. She's very lucky to be alive, that's for sure.
On cue, another whale jumps out of the water, but the timing is off. Instead of leaping over the trainer, the 12,000-pound orca crashes down on top of her.
She was new. She was a great person to work with, and she obviously blossomed into one of SeaWorld's best trainers.
She's beautiful, she's blonde, she's athletic, she's friendly. You know, everybody loves Dawn. She captured what it means to be a SeaWorld trainer. She had so much experience, and it made me realize that what happened to her really could have happened to anyone.
I left in January of 2010, a month before Dawn passed away. She was like a safety guru. I mean, she was always double-checking, making sure that everyone was doing the right thing. So I remember she would record every show that she did, and she would watch it and critique herself. And she was constantly trying to be better. When I found out it was Dawn, I was shocked. That could have been me.